Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily episode of your daily gaming news stuff and all that great and not so great things. Today we got some things here, mainly from AMD. So supposedly AMD, the 79X3D is selling more than 50% around than the non-3D version of the 7900. And supposedly, I think the 7950 X3D is basically out of stock in a lot of places. The thing is, I think, if not mistaken, this information is mainly from Germany. I think that supplier that usually brings all the stock and the selling GPUs. If not mistaken, I'm not really sure, but for all intents and purposes, it seems to be selling well. It seems that people were waiting for this X3D launch from AMD, and for all kinds of performance-wise and how it deals with a lot of stuff regarding productivity, even games. I think the best-selling one is still to come, the 7800 X3D, which is more focused on the gaming side because all the cores have the stacked 3D cache, and I think it's going to sell even better because it's cheaper than all of these ones, and it can manage to do all productivity, light productivity stuff very well. Even though this one of the things I'm not sure if I mentioned in the reviews for the 7950 X3D, in terms of at least gaming and even productivity wise, it goes head to head kind of with the 13900K from Intel. However, there is a thing that I like to point out. The AMD counterpart usually not almost all of them, but a lot of the situations and scenarios use almost half of the power to deliver basically the same performance, which is incredible on how they go about it this way. But yeah, it seems very good, even though of course it's 700 CPU, which is a lot of money. And I think the best value for gamers and or even for people that like to do light productivity, because there are some applications that use the 3D cache very well. It's the 7800X3D. But yeah, it seems to be selling well, better than the X and non-X counterparts, because I think a lot of people are if they prefer to wait, save a little bit, and then buy the better CPUs. In other news from AMD, it seems that the GPU part, the RX 7900 XT, not the XTX, the XT, it's lowering in their prices, and it now basically is around less than $100 than the MSRP. It's good news because it's lowering the price, and the price, the bracket where it was placed specifically regarding the XTX counterpart, which was like basically 10% difference in price with around 20%, 25% if I'm not mistaken, in performance, really makes the XT a very bad deal. This XT, it's trade blows in gaming, at least restoration with the 4070 Ti. The 4070 Ti is basically, in terms of MSRP, $100 cheaper, so around 800 or 7 something of the prices is yes, it should be around $700 or something like that, or now I think it's the same price, the XT at the MSRP of the 4070. Yeah, it's a lot of numbers here for me for this time of the day. Yeah, but now I think it starts lowering at the same price, which starts to get to seem a little bit a better deal. However, I mentioned this like a few videos ago. I think at least being in the 800, this is a GPU to be considered like a pretty good deal. Has to be even more $100 lower than the $800. It should be around $700, $650 to even be considered a good deal. it's a better deal now than before, but mainly because it's how the price to performance gap between generations works. You're at the moment it's still a little bit for you to have 30% more performance, you have to pay 30% more in price, which is not a good deal. It never worked this way. It's usually when new technology you pay for the same price basically from the previous generation in terms of launch prices, and you get a little bit extra performance. It doesn't have to be 30% performance for the same price, but this is usually technology how it works to allure people to buy new technology. You have to put it's like launching the 7900 XT is a little bit better than the 6900 XT from the previous generation, and it's basically a little bit expensive for you to get the same performance in terms of percentages, which is not a good deal. You might as well keep your older GPU and wait a little bit longer at this moment. If it lowers a little bit more, like $100, it starts to get a little even though it's expensive, like $700 for the GPU, it's expensive, very expensive, but still, considering that, if you're wondering and you really need, I really prefer in terms of rasterization, and because also the VRAM 20 gigabytes instead of 12 gigabytes for the 4070, unless you have very specific uses to take advantage of some stuff that NVIDIA brings on, especially like productivity. I think this one, the 7900 XT, it's a better deal. I think it will last a little bit longer. So mainly because of the VRAM, even though it's a little bit slower, but the GPU is faster than the 4070 Ti, like around 5%, give or take. Mainly because in games, especially the Unreal Engine 5, if you start playing in 4K texture-wise, it occupies a lot of VRAM, and even like or ray tracing technologies or something like that, they usually start putting out more pressure on the VRAM usage on the GPUs, and that really going to make or break the longevity of the GPUs. I think that in the overall scheme of things, NVIDIA is just trying to put the bare minimum of like VRAM for you to last like 2 years, then recycle you have to buy like a new GPU every 2 years, because it's always on the borderline of getting old, because how game engines work and how they take advantage of the GPU hardware. But yeah, now we are going again for the 7950 X3D. I don't know where this came from, this kind of things. People telling this is like a scam because of this has 2 CCDs and only one CCD has 3D cache, and then people saying that if you're playing a game you're not using the other CCD, so you're paying 16 cores, you're just using 8 when you're gaming. A lot of stuff, I don't know, doesn't make any logic. I don't know if people confused like the park technology they use in these chips. People are confusing part with I don't know, off. It turns off. It doesn't work like that. Even if it does, it's even if it did work like that, from what I understood in terms of how this works, you can, to a certain point, you can manually shut off one of the CCDs in the BIOS, but from what I understood, the Hardware Unbox managed to do that in the BIOS to try to simulate a 7800 X3D, because it 78 X3D has like 8 cores, all of them with Vcache, and they disconnected the non-Vcache 8 cores and just tried to take advantage. Even though having the both CCDs and how it works internally, it's just a simulated one. You cannot take face value all the values. But PC World Corner has an excellent video explaining all of this kind of shenanigans that people think that AMD is doing, which is not true. And and there in this video he also recommends to go to another video from I forget the name of the guy, but he usually is very good on I think he deals a lot with server things like CPUs, GPUs and everything, server technology, and he goes very in deep on regarding parking technology, how parking certain CCDs works. And it doesn't make any logic what people are saying around the internet. I didn't see for myself this kind of thing, so I assume that it's in very specific areas on the internet that people are doing telling this. But yeah, feel safe because it's not a scam. The CPU works in all cores and all threads and everything. So let's get off the AMD stuff and get into games. The Wulong Fallen Dynasty finally come out. Got an excellent review from Facts Life. I always recommend them in RPG games. They always have like excellent wikis, good guides, even reviews and news regarding mostly RPGs. And I watched this review, and the overall take it's a good game. Can be it's not an excellent game, but it's a good game in vein of Neo in terms of fighting and how it uses magic and everything. Tries to borrow some stuff here. The main complaint here is the story. It told that the story seems a little bit convoluted, so you get to lost a little bit on the plot, but the combat itself is very good. Basically, these are the main takes. I recommend you to watch the review, at least the video. I usually watch the video and then read all the article itself, and yeah, it's a 7.8 out of 10. So it's a good game, not an excellent game, and of course not being a perfect one. But I recommend to watch it if you are interested in this game. I don't know if I'm going to play it, probably one of these days. But yeah, it's on my wish list. In other news, Star Wars Jedi, there was an interview with the director of the game. Supposedly, if it sells well, this one, the Jedi Survivor, it might get a sequel. I think, in his back of his mind, this Stig Asmussen, which is the gaming director for the first two ones, always had the story arc from this character. I always forget the names of people and characters on games. Cal's journey. It's around like a trilogy to make a closed story arc. So in 3 games you follow this guy and then his story goes away. I don't know if he's going to die at the end, but then they wanted to go to another character and something like that. It's good because you have a closed loop, so you don't have to always have to have something to justify a story to continue. Story arcs are good because you have a starting point of a character, his evolution, and then how his journey ends at least at that space time, and all the things he has to endure and has to overcome. Because if you keep the story arc infinite, you basically don't have you can see the evolution, but you don't know how that evolution will have a resolution on the character itself. Endless sequels to the same characters, it's not good in terms of how storytelling is made. But yeah, hopefully this game is good. It's better. I think they delayed a little bit to fine tune. I hope they fine tune the running animation, because from the video that I saw, it's very weird how the character runs. But yeah, regarding that is it. For Resident Evil 4 first look preview, I read this article. It seems this game is being on par at the same thing how the remakes are done from Resident Evil Dead Space remake. It seems that it's on par, the quality of the remake itself, how we take advantage of the systems that were in. Of course, there is updated visuals and all that good stuff, and there is like gameplay improvements, but maintaining how the base of the game mechanics worked at the time. I think I don't remember this fight for Kaiser. fight. Now it's not like a quick event fight, so it's you have to fight this guy. There is like a parry system here with a knife thing for you to like reduce damage when you're taking blows and everything. Even the AI from it's not clear. Oh, the girl, the president's daughter called, I don't remember. But you have her. You have to like baby taking care of her, and the AI works better. She it's not that like game over all of a sudden. But yeah, it seems that it's on the same level than Dead Space Remake. And I saw also some Dead Island 2 40-minute long extended gameplay trailer. The vibes that I get from this game, it's not bad, but we already have an excellent game, in my opinion, at least from what I saw. Which is Dying Light, which has like the same feeling, first person, like the crafting on the weapons and everything, how you combat in the ground. But Dying Light has the parkour stuff around. It has other kind of mechanics. I think the second one has like a gliding stuff here and there. Dead Island 2 is like based around more, I think, more realistic to a certain point, because this is a zombie game. But there are some differences in how you use the weapons. You can throw weapons, and you have a more broadly inventory, from what I understood. But they extended a little bit more the things from the first Dead Island. I played a little bit at the time, first Dead Island. It was a little bit junky at the time. I didn't like too much. It was not performing well at the time in my PC. But it seems an improvement, which is always good to have an improvement on the game. And you have like elemental damage, and how the environment also goes about in doing damage and receiving damage, and how you can take care of the environmental damage with elemental damage. It seems good, better than the first one, which is always good, even though this game has been delayed I don't know how many times. But anyway, we got some gaming deals. Ubisoft is having a publisher until up to 80% off on Steam. You have the Assassin's Creed games, all of them. Some of them, like Valhalla 67, it's not the best game ever. The only games from the reboots here that got me a little bit curious is Assassin's Creed Origin and Odyssey. I think I've been watching some videos on the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It seems like a very long game, from what I understood. But you have like a little older games. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is one of the better ones, and also Black Flag. Black Flag I played like 2 or 3 times. I like the kind of the story arc of the main character and the twists and turns there. Far Cry, it's Far Cry. I made a video series with Far Cry 3 with some mods. Far Cry 4 is not bad. And after that I didn't play anymore Far Cry's. No PC to play them. And you have also Tom Clancy stuff. Blacklist is one of the better ones, I think Blacklist. Yeah, I own this game, so yeah, I played this one. It's the older one that I think it came out. It's 2013. It's been a long time. It's a good game. Conviction, kind of. I think this one they introduced a lot more newer mechanics that were afterwards improved on Blacklist. We got Crew and some Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 is the better one from all the Watch Dogs games. One, it's very badly optimized. The second one, I think it improved a lot of mechanics. The story, I don't know, but the Legion, I don't think it has the better reviews here, but it doesn't matter. If you're interested, you just buy it. It's very good prices here. And we have also Metro franchise is also on a deal, 80% off on the first one, and they are the Redux version, so they are the improved versions visually and everything. The Last Light Redux also 80% off, and Exodus also 75% off. So for basically $20 or something, you can get the trilogy. The first 2 games, the ones that I play, are very good. The story arc of Arkham, it's at least the 2 games, it's very good. I don't know how the Metro Exodus ends, but it has all been very well spoken about. Story-wise and mechanic-wise, they extend a lot of things from the first 2 games. But yeah. Basically this is it, guys. It's been a long one. Ramble a little bit on AMD stuff here, but I'm going to wrap up here with my GoFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better and more content for my private clients and start doing some video stuff for them. They are been asking me for a few months now, and of course in my free spare time doing the daily videos, start doing some more scripted content where I want to do some deep dives in some subjects here and there. I'm not able to ramble, just and if I start rambling, I just start losing a little bit focus. I don't have like a script or something written. And also resuming my gameplay series on the older games and doing other games that I like more. And with all that said, guys, I will see you in the next one. Hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you next one.